I take care of those children. I pray with those children.
Were you involved with another man?
Me and Mr. Brown we were on a break.
The court session of Mr. Brown and Miss Lever begins with an emotional father explaining how he believes he is the biological father of the defendant's daughter, Jira, who she says is not his daughter.
Your Honor, I know that I'm Jira's father. I mean, from the very beginning. That's my heart. When Mom couldn't be there, I was there.
He is not her biological father?
Yes, Your Honor. He is not biologically her father.
Thus, we might infer that people's motives for thinking what they say are valid. And let us just focus on the idea of why the defendant, Miss Lever, believes that Mr. Brown is not the biological father.
You slept with another man?
I slept with my ex. My ex and I, we were intimate at the hospital during that time.
At the hospital?
This is distressing. Although Judge Lauren just brought up something that we've all been pondering, Mr. Brown also asserts that they had intercourse on the same dates. How is sexual activity performed in a busy hospital?
How do you have sex in a busy hospital?
It occurred. During that time, we were both dealing with a situation that was very detrimental, and during that time, we basically bonded. And
by telling Mr. Brown right on that Jira is not his daughter, Miss Lever hoped to clear up any confusion. Jira is not the only child in doubt, though. Let's take a sneak peek into this developing twist.
Even when we broke up, Your Honor, we were still intimate.
Mr. Brown, do you believe you are Genesis' biological father?
No, I do not.
Oh, you do not believe?
I do not, Your Honor. Genesis was conceived, Your Honor. Miss Lever was involved with another individual that I saw with my eyes personally.
Miss Lever asserted that Mr. Brown is financially weak and that he is only here playing daddy because she has nowhere else to go. Calling him manipulative, she vented all out in front of the courtroom.
Hurts
I
my
am
children.
miserable as hell. 8 years. I'm tired of this.
When I left, Your
you
Honor,
need to go.
when I left the first time, Your Honor, there's a big difference in being a father
But wait,
outside of the house and being in the house.
No, there is. But you can also have your own house and have your children in your own house.
Say that again, Your Honor.
But screaming and yelling won't solve anything. This broken relationship was at the mercy of the DNA envelope. They both were sure of what they had to say, and the truth was just seconds away. Let's see what fate the results hold.
In the case of Brown versus Lever, as it pertains to Jira Lever, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Brown, you are not the father.
How would you feel if the man you've always believed to be your biological father came out and denied it? Miss Cheryl Rubens was standing in front of Judge Lake with her other 2 siblings, demanding her alleged father set the record straight once and for all.
When did the defendant start denying he was your father?
He always denied me.
And how did you feel about it?
I didn't like it at all because that was my little sister.
Mr. Davis, is this true?
Yes, it is.
It is?
It is.
It is simply unacceptable to take your frustration with the mother out on the children. But in Mr. Davis's defense, the mother was too fast to be trusted. And this comment made siblings go ballistic mid-trail. It was like no side was ready to go easy on each other.
You were her father in particular?
Not necessarily her.
All the children?
You're correct.
Did you express this concern to her?
No, I didn't express it to her.
You just always kept it to yourself?
I kept it to myself.
However, when the Rubens interpret a question posed by the judge, Mr. Big Daddy also loses his temper. Come on, people, you are in the courtroom, not your backyard. As the saying goes, a leopard doesn't change its spots. To this act, the judge had to do some schooling, which took about a minute.
Were you talking to me?
I was talking to you.
Then shut up.
Now you
No.
You shut up.
Mr. Davis, first of all, I control this courtroom. Now you can take it to the street and you'll be out on the street, because we're not gonna act a fool in here.
Well said, Lauren. Anyways, after this, Daddy goes on claiming that he wasn't an angel himself and was also sniffing caves. Yet both the parents seesaw back and forth, and their swindling and commitment issues had destroyed 3 innocent lives.
Right, after my first child, like I said, when I met her, and she had 3 kids before I met her.
That has nothing to do with what's going on now.
While we was having a relationship, I don't believe I believe the judge was talking to me.
Why make broken promises then?
He claims it's out of goodwill, but it has to stand on its bottom like every tub does. Mr. Davis was questioned by Judge Lauren over his worries regarding either his inheritance from his illness or the bill for child support. He responded by sounding something like this.
The DNA test and wanting to know whether or not you're really their father, is this really about the illnesses, or is this about this huge
It's both.
child support debt?
It is both. It is both,
Which one
regardless
weigh
of what
the
they want to
most?
say,
Child support?
and neither one outweighs the other.
The DNA result was all that mattered to the broken family, because no one was willing to take any leniency from one another. The only truth is what binds people when love and respect are not present. Let's get right to it.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Davis, are
Tick, tick,
her father.
You already knew that. Already knew that.
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Child support. Here I come.
I don't worry about it, come with it.
Become a man and take responsibility for yourself, or prepare to pay $5,000. Miss Poyer filed a lawsuit against her son, Mr. Poyer, for unpaid rent and utilities, but she needs Judge Lauren for help talking some sense into the spoiled brat.
My son, he's lazy, not want to do anything, not want to help me or help me pay any bills.
You know what I'm saying? And then she comes at me with this, I'm lazy, but you're the same person who'll get off the train on your way home and walk past 5 stores and come upstairs and go, you go to the store and buy me a soda and a bag of chips. Didn't you just walk past the store?
So the Big G's mama is doing all the hustling to put food on the table. Mr. Poyer is lucky his mama got no voice, or else she'd be screaming at him. Furthermore, admitting that her attitude might be challenging, the mama has some serious issues. But listen to what Mr. Lazybones has to say.
I'm gonna sit back. And it got to a point where I started to feel a way about certain little things, such as I'm at home and I'm watching television and you walk in the house. And now you don't want to watch what I'm watching, so I have to stop everything I'm doing and focus on what you want to watch on television.
Yeah, you do.
What a drag, after admitting in court that she had expelled her son from the nest. And it had been 3 years since they last spoke. Miss Poyer passionately expressed to the judge her desire for her child to have the greatest life possible. Let's have a peek at how it went.
Mom, I didn't get paid this, that, the other, but yet still, you going in there to find your little roll up and your little, to do your business.
You say he did not contribute. You say you have cable bills.
I have cable bill, I have rent.
Did you bring that to the court today?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
If the team up between Miss Poyer and Judge Lauren wasn't enough for Mr. Lazybones, there is another teacher in the picture that has her side of the story when it comes to Mr. Poyer.
My main concern, the reason why I'm here, is because he's going out smoking marijuana.
The worst thing I've ever done was smoke weed and hop a turnstile when I was 17. Leave it alone, let it die already.
Okay.
Let it die. I don't understand.
Man, give me a break. Aren't those classic concerns of black parents? Smoking marijuana, hopping turnstiles, and the cherry on top, a girlfriend whom they think is a bad influence. But wait, more facts come to light after the lip-pierced girlfriend is presented in the courtroom.
Y'all make $150 a week, from what I gather. You live with your mother?
Yes.
You pay your mother?
Yes.
He pays your mother?
Yes.
Oh!
So why he can't pay her?
Did you just state to this court that you're working and you are paying her mother?
I am.
At this point, so in exchange for her residence, he pays his girlfriend's mother. He had the opportunity to help his mother in some way. Simply tragic that. He needed some clarification on a few topics, which Judge Lauren had to provide him.
You a grown man living like a kid. You should have been out a long time ago. You wouldn't have been able to live in my house growing up if you didn't keep a steady job. Now, what is very interesting to this court, and I see to your family as well, when you leave the nest, suddenly you begin to live up to your potential.
With all arguments out on the table, it was time for Judge Lauren to settle the score between mother and son as enough schooling was done. We had to come to the conclusive part, because these people be going nowhere with their feud.
Hey, remember, I want you to do something. May I hug him, please?
You absolutely can.
Do you remember it? This is what I most remember. Give me some nose.
Miss Poyer, with that said, what is your decision?
I'll let this one ride.
I thought so. I'll do the honors for you.
As the sole provider for her 2-year-old daughter, Ameri, Miss Hubbard comes to paternity court furious and seeks to prove the defendant, Mr. Watson, is the biological father. With good old reality TV drama, the trial begins on this note.
So if you say he knew about her, has he been helping you?
No, ma'am. No, he hasn't contributed to anything. He hasn't done anything for her. Nothing.
You're doing this by yourself?
Yes, ma'am. I'm taking care of my 5 children and my disabled mother by myself.
Ms. Hubbard was so frustrated by the fact that she confessed to even making the defendant responsible for not showing empathy regarding the ongoing situation. However, she claimed that for 2 years, Mr. Watson didn't even attempt to provide for young America. She even sold his outfit for $100 to help with the child's expenses.
Have you done anything for this child?
No, ma'am, I haven't done anything for the child.
You admit you've done nothing?
Yes, ma'am.
Why is that, sir?
Because I don't think this is my baby.
You don't?
It is not my baby, because she lied.
But your family
had sex with Miss Hubbard,
But your family members
Right, but she
Did
lied.
you use protection?
No, ma'am.
Oh boy. Nevertheless, why wasn't Mr. Watson focused? What caused all the uncertainties in his mind about the child? Apart from having to experience animosity from Miss Hubbard, he brought a calendar he had created with information on her pregnancy before the court. Here is how it all started.
But you would have been about ready to have the baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's lying. I told him, when I knew for sure that I was pregnant in March, that's when I told him that I was pregnant.
Did she say she was pregnant in March?
She told me that she was pregnant. She was 3 months pregnant. I was like, oh, okay, so I know she probably be pregnant because we did have unprotected sex, so I rode with it.
So now messing with the convincing dates is equivalent to messing with your child's future? Mr. Watson further justified the doubts by presenting the court with her diary in which Miss Provider has been collecting condom wrappers from her previous sexual encounters. Damn, that's nasty.
I flipped to another page, it had a condom pack on it. And explaining the dude that she had sex with, how his sex was and everything. Okay, I flipped to another page, flipped to another, was another condom pack right there. So I'm like,
On the diary?
right.
Okay, let me flip through. Oh, and some of the pages stuck together. I'm done with it.
I ain't touching that ever, but never mind. Cutting to the chase, all of the other family members, Miss Hubbard said, are convinced it is his child, but he denies it. She also wants a DNA test to force him to step up and support his daughter.
He keeping her away. He don't even want her around his other kids. He don't even claim her. Sometimes he claim her on Facebook, then he get mad, that ain't his baby, then he make a show about it. But that's his child.
Your Honor,
Now only one thing was left, to restore the trust between this couple. And yes, that's right, the DNA results. So why wait? Judge Lauren is efficient when it comes to calling the shots. Here is how it went.
Mr. Watson, you are Amiria's father.
Deadbeat. Like I told you. Nope.
I'm sorry.
In this paternity dilemma, Mr. Matlock came home from a trip to find his girlfriend pregnant, whereas Miss Monroe admits she invited her ex to stay over when he was away. Despite knowing this, Mr. Matlock forgave the woman, but since now there is a child in the mix, his love has changed.
She moved her ex into our home.
In a week?
In 1 week, Your Honor.
At what point do you find out that she's moved another man into the house?
From her.
Yeah, I told you. At least I was honest.
Miss Monroe.
I was honest.
In her defense, Miss Monroe claimed that while he was gone, she kept calling and Mr. Matlock never replied to her. Hence, she thought he's not coming back. Oh, God. That isn't how a relationship works, lady.
So I'm gonna move somebody into the house.
Sunday
Who'd
to
you move in?
One of my exes.
One of your exes. Now, you didn't decide just to date him. You decided to actually move him right on in.
He wasn't.
All right, and so I assume there was a sexual relationship going on at this time as well.
Yes.
Wait, what? She simply said that he never called, didn't she? This woman, however, contradicted herself. In addition, Mr. Plaintiff should clarify how he has known her since he was a little boy. Hence, he planned to forget everything and move on. But fate had stored some twists and turns for him.
I get a phone call from my sister. What's up?
You ain't
May
who you
pregnant.
pretended to be.
Whoa, what you mean May pregnant? I just talked to her on the phone.
I told you that.
You didn't tell me that. You told me that after I talked to my sister, and you told my sister that you were pregnant, that she was pregnant. I get back, we sit down, we have the discussion. I asked her point blank, am I the father of the child? Who's the baby daddy?
Honest, right?
She looked at me and said,
I was honest.
You're not the father. Real talk.
Sounds really messy. Why hide the pregnancy, Miss Monroe? Anyways, she did confess to Mr. Matlock that it's his baby, but that's also another story. And Mr. Matlock is all in with his dates.
Was the last week in August that we see here in green. And you claim that her ex was intimate with her during the beginning
weeks
of
before
August, which is indicated in yellow. And that's the month of conception.
You don't move nobody in within a week.
Either way,
it wasn't a week, it was a month.
It's easy to see through your visual that this could be.
Well, amidst all the drama happening on deciding the paternity of the child, Mr. Matlock wasn't a deadbeat, and he kept on paying the child support. This was all happening while he was unsure, and the baby mama seems to not even appreciate that.
I missed my court date, and I was a father by default. I have evidence to prove that, Your Honor.
The bottom line is when that court date came up, Mr. Matlock, you're saying you never got notice of when your court date was. So you didn't show you weren't there.
I was at work.
By default,
I am the father.
You were determined to be the father.
I am the father.
Whoa, becoming the father by default, and the mother acting all shady. Well, it was time for Judge Lauren to commence the action, set things straight manually, so she pulled the curtain on the mystery by calling in for results.
When it comes to 5-year-old Kenya Monroe, Mr. Matlock, you
are not.
I knew it. Go find your baby daddy. Put somebody else on child support. I want my money back. I told you I wasn't the father of that child.